Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Vikrapitakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vikantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deelabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Aschatya Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees at Silicon Valley. Happy to meet all of you after almost a year. I was asked by devotees to speak on essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita itself is the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. While all the Upanishads are compared with a cow, Bhagavad Gita is compared with the milk of the cow. And Krishna is the milkman, covered boy. He is a covered boy anyways. And that Vatsa, calf is Arjuna. So Bhagavad Gita is definitely the essence of all the Upanishads. Sometimes Gita is also called Gita Upanishad. The Gita Mahatmya says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Putro Devaki Putra Seva Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. One Shastra is sufficient. That is Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we need Bhagavatam also. As far as foundational understanding of our Vaishnava philosophy is concerned, we need Bhagavad Gita. But we also need the descriptions of devotees who have demonstrated those philosophical principles taught by Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavatam presents the descriptions of all those beautiful, pure devotees who put Gita principles into action. Bhagavad Gita gives some foundational basic philosophy. There are no stories. Gita is not a story book, no pastimes. But Bhagavatam elaborates the philosophy by presenting anecdotes, historical narrations. So every scripture has its own greatness. But Bhagavad Gita's uniqueness is that it is directly spoken by Krishna himself. In all the of all the scriptures in the Vedic library, Gita's unique position is that Krishna personally spoke Bhagavad Gita, while many other scriptures are written by great sages like Vyasadeva and others. And that too, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in an emergency mode, in the situation of war. Although the context of Gita is war, the content of Gita is not war. It's life. Krishna used the context of war and enlightened a warrior not on the finer nuances of how to deal with opponents during the war, but how to deal with circumstances in life. Life is a bigger war. War may last for 18 days, or less than that in some wars, more than that, few other wars. But life war is like full life. Every day is a battle. Krishna teaches Arjuna the art of yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita talks about 4 yogas. Yoga basically means connection with Krishna, linking our consciousness with the Supreme Lord. When we try to link our consciousness with the Lord through our activities, karma, it's called karma yoga. When we try to connect with the Lord through jnana, it's called jnana yoga, knowledge. When we try to connect with the Lord through meditation, deep thinking, dhyana, it's called dhyana yoga, also called ashtanga yoga. When we try to connect with the Lord through love, through devotion, then it is bhakti yoga. Of all the 4 yogas, Krishna says that bhakti yoga is the essence. Bhakti yoga is the topmost. Why? In karma yoga, you are trying to connect with the Lord through your karma. But you may work for somebody, but you will not love that person. You are working because you love that work. The attachment is to the work in karma yoga, not necessarily towards the person for whom you are working. Many are working in different companies and all. How many of you love your bosses? You may love a little bit, but some may not love also. But you work for them. But when you love someone, you naturally want to work for that person. You love a person, you feel like serving the person. Mother loves the child, mother wants to serve the child. So, bhakti includes karma, karma may not include bhakti. Similarly, jnana means knowledge. You know Krishna, you know somebody. But you know a person, but you may not love that person. Right? You may know 100 people, but you may not love all the 100 people. But if you love someone, you would like to know more about them. You know them, but you want to know more and more about them. If you love Krishna, you will know Krishna, and you want to know more and more about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. But if you only know Krishna, that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead, but you may not love him. Many people, if you go to India, any average typical Indian knows who is Krishna, but they may not love Krishna. Jnana doesn't include bhakti, but bhakti includes jnana. Knowledge may not include love, but love definitely includes some knowledge. And whatever knowledge is required to love the person, that much knowledge you have. That's sufficient. I often give this example. Your rasgulla may not have all rasa in it. In the bowl, there is more rasa. But rasgulla may not contain all the rasa in the bowl. But rasgulla is filled with rasa. Whatever it can hold, that much it has. Wherever you squeeze, from this side or that side, from top, bottom, from wherever you squeeze, you only get rasa. But you will not get, but enter rasa is not there. So whatever knowledge you require about the Lord, that much you gather, and you love Krishna with that knowledge. So love includes knowledge, but knowledge may not include love. Similarly, dhyana. Dhyana means meditation, deep thinking. You may think about 10 people, but do you love all of them? No. You may think about 100 people, but you may not love all of them. But if you love someone, you will naturally think about the person. So bhakti includes dhyana. Dhyana may not include bhakti. So of these 4 yogas, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga is supreme because bhakti includes all the other 3. So simple. So bhakti yoga is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Gita itself is the essence of all the scriptures, all the Upanishads. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti Yoga. There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. First 6 chapters predominantly talk about Karma Yoga. Last 6 chapters prominently talk about Jnana Yoga. The middle 6 chapters is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. They talk about bhakti. And in the middle 6 chapters, the middle 2 chapters is the essence of essence. Gita is the essence, and the essence of Gita is middle 6 chapters. The essence of the essence of the essence is middle 2 chapters, 9th and 10th chapters, where Krishna reveals his heart. What differentiates the 9th and 10th chapters of Bhagavad Gita from the remaining chapters is that Krishna is getting very personal. Krishna is revealing his heart here, not this opulence. In the 7th and 8th chapters, Krishna spoke a little bit of his opulences and energies and how to attain him and all. Of course, bhakti is there in all the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. All the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita talk about bhakti. But the middle 2 chapters talk very emphatically about bhakti. In the 9th chapter, Krishna begins with describing some opulences, but towards the end of the chapter, he reveals his heart, how he deals with a devotee. What is the simplicity of bhakti yoga? Especially from 26th chapter it begins. How simple bhakti yoga is. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati. This bhakti is sufficient. If you offer patram, a leaf, pushpam, a flower, phalam, a fruit, toyam, little water. If it is offered with devotion, Krishna will accept it and touch it to his head and then accepts it. Means he values it. When you are touching something to your head, you are valuing it so much. So Krishna becomes so overwhelmed by even the little water or flower or fruit that we give with sincere devotion, and he values it so much. Advaitacharya offered to Shaligram Sila little Ganga water and few tulsi leaves and prayed, "Oh Lord, please come, descend on this planet and please deliver all the people of Kali Yuga by spreading the holy names of Krishna, by establishing Yuga Dharma." Then Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tulasi dala matrena jalasya chulukenava. So when you offer this little tulsi dal and little Ganga jal, Krishna feels that this devotee has purchased me with the payment of tulsi dal and Ganga jal. He has purchased me. I am sold out to this person. That's how Krishna feels so grateful and obliged. Krishna is Kritagna. He is very grateful. For what? For water. Where do you get water? Krishna only gave water. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankareti emme bhinna prakriti ashtada. In the 7th chapter, Krishna said, earth, water, fire, air, ether, they are my separated energies. I only give this to people in this world. And you take that little water, toyam, and offer it to Krishna. Krishna feels so obliged. You offer me water, I'll offer myself to you. See, payment is very less. And the product is like really expensive. So it's the feeling that matters more than what you offer. It's the sincerity that matters. So patram, pushpam. Pushpam is flower. We have this florist Sudama in the 10th canto of Bhagavad. You know, when Krishna is touring Mathura city, there's a florist named Sudama. He was making garlands. And because Krishna came to Mathura city for the first time, all the Mathuravasis came out of their homes. They stopped their activities in the middle. They came out of their homes and they were seeing Krishna, taking Krishna's darshan. But this florist did not come out. Well, all the Mathuravasis stopped all their activities right in the middle and they rushed out to see Krishna, take Krishna's darshan. This florist is so busy, engrossed in making a garland, crafting a garland for Krishna. That is for Krishna. So Krishna asked the address, where is Sudama florist? Where is Sudama florist? So Krishna went to Sudama's home. Actually, this Sudama had an experience of seeing Krishna in Vrindavan. Because he's a florist, he would collect some colorful, fragrant, special flowers even from nearby villages, and for that purpose he would go to Vrindavan sometimes. From a distance he would see little blue boy playing with his friends. And now that blue boy came to Mathura, I want to offer him something. So he made a garland. And when we are eager to receive, when we are eager to render service to Krishna, Krishna becomes eager to receive that service from us. So even before Sudama florist came out to offer garland to Krishna, Krishna searched for his address, asked the Mathura city people for his address and went to his home and accepted his garlands. And he said, Sudama, whatever you want, take from me. What do you want? And what Sudama said, Sopi vavre chalam bhaktim tasmin eva khilatmani tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam bhuteshu cha dayam param. I want three things, my dear Lord. Number one, achalam bhaktim, unflinching devotion unto you, nothing else. Achalam bhakti means without any distractions, without any deviations, I should be able to serve you, worship you, have devotion unto you. Achalam bhakti. Tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam, I also want good, loving friendships with your devotees. Right? Tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam. Then bhuteshu cha dayam param, I want daya. I want to be compassionate towards all living entities also. So this is what I want. Three things. Compassion for all living beings, then friendship with the devotees, sadhu sangha, and love for Krishna. So Krishna blessed. When Advaitacharya offered water, the Lord appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sudama first offered garlands, pushpam, and the Lord gave him whatever he wanted. He also gave him longevity, and he also told him, you can come to the spiritual world, have some sarupya mukti, be like a gopa. Phalam, you know what happened to a fruit vendor. The fruit vendor offered some flowers and she got a basket full of jewels. But that is not the real mercy of Krishna. So fruit vendor offered fruits and Krishna filled her basket with jewels, but fruit vendor was not impressed with the jewels. Fruit vendor was impressed with the smile of Krishna. If I offer fruits to this boy will smile with happiness. Just to see smile, satisfactory smile on his face, I will offer fruits. No other expectation, no material motivation. Ahituki apratihata. This is pure bhakti. When we have no expectations, then we will relish the taste of bhakti. When we have undue expectations from Krishna, then it is not pure bhakti, it is called sakama bhakti. Even then also, Krishna will remove the sakama tendencies and retain our bhakti. But what is prescribed to us is, please offer devotional service unto Krishna without any expectations in return. That's what 9.26 is. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Patram, leaf. Who offered leaf to Krishna? Tulsi leaf. Rukmini Devi offered Tulsi leaf. Even he also offered. Ambarish Maharaj offers Tulsi leaves to Krishna. And all the Brajavasis offered Tulsi leaves to Govardhan mountain. Govardhan accepted so much of bhoga from all sides. That's Krishna. Krishna appeared as mountain god on top of Govardhan and accepted all the bhoga which is offered by all the Brajavasis from all sides of the mountain. But he said, I want more, adiyor. Then Krishna said, just offer him Tulsi, he'll be satisfied. Some gopis offered Tulsi and then he is satisfied. Not only satisfied, he manifested all that he ate back as Mahaprasadam. Then the Gopa, then the cowherd community took that. So this is the simplicity of Bhakti Yoga, which Krishna reveals in the 9th chapter. And as we move ahead, Krishna reveals many other messages. If you cannot offer me what I want, at least offer what you have. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasiyat yat tapassasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you give in charity, do all that as an offering to me. Then as Krishna moves ahead, he also reveals his heart. How he deals with a person, with a devotee who makes some mistakes. Does Krishna disown a devotee when he does some mistakes? Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Even if my devotee does sudurachar, abominable activities, still I will not disown him. I will consider him sadhu. Now, star conditions apply. Although Krishna said, I consider my devotee sadhu if he does sudurachara. Durachara means offenses, sinful activities. Sudurachara means extremely sinful activities. Very, very sinful. Even then, Krishna says sadhu. How is it justified? Krishna justifies. Acharyas explain this. There are some liberal perspectives to this shloka. There are some strict perspectives to this shloka. Conservative perspectives. We'll discuss all of them a little bit of it. Basically, Krishna forgives and excuses a devotee for accidental mistakes, unintentional mistakes, not deliberate mistakes, not consciously committed mistakes. When we consciously make a mistake, commit an offense, definitely we'll have to face the repercussions. But by mistake, if you do some mistake, because of the force of the past habits, past impressions, we commit some mistake. So Krishna will not penalize such a devotee. Krishna will give chances. Okay, no problem. Rectify your mentality and come back. So we should not deliberately commit mistakes. That will become seventh offense to the holy name. Whenever a devotee makes a mistake, a devotee realizes it. First, he commits that mistake unintentionally, not deliberately, not wantedly. Then he realizes it. He admits it. He apologizes for it. Then he tries to rectify it instead of justifying it. And he also tries not to repeat it sincerely. And he genuinely repents for that mistake. Prabhupada writes in one purport, all reactions to one's sinful activities are burned in the fire of honest repentance, honest paschatap. Then a devotee also remembers that mistake to remain humble. Because we may do some mistakes. Over a period of time, we rectify them and we overcome them, we start doing things properly. No more sinful activities, no more offenses. At that time, somebody may praise us. Then our ego is boosted. We'll become proud. At that time, if you remember, oh, this is where I was. Okay. Then you'll not become proud, you'll become humble. So remembering our past offenses and mistakes will keep us humble. And will also make us grateful. Because someone has lifted me from this point to this point. Isn't it? Someone has lifted me up, elevated my consciousness to a higher plane. So naturally, I should be grateful to all the people who helped me grow, who helped me come to a higher plane. So remembering our past mistakes will help us be humble and be grateful. We should not forget. Prabhupada says, devotee should always remember one's past fallen condition. Then one can be grateful in accepting. If a devotee thinks that I have been like this always, of course. Forgetfulness of one's past fallen condition will make a devotee feel a sense of entitlement. I deserve this mercy. I deserve this treatment. I deserve to be treated in this way. Why are they not treating me? That's what happened to Daksha. So, but when we are always in the mode of being beggars, mercy seekers, are objects of compassion, not originators of compassion. Even if you show compassion, we are transmitters of compassion, not originators of compassion. Compassion is coming from Krishna, and then we are just taking it and then transferring it as postmen. But we should not think we are compassionate. One of the qualities of Vaishnava is compassion. But still, devotee doesn't think that this compassion is being shown by me. Acharyas are showing compassion, Krishna is showing compassion. I'm just transmitting it, transparently transmitting that compassion. So this is the mood. If we are in that mood, even if we make some mistakes once in a while, Krishna will not penalize us. But if somebody unduly takes advantage of Krishna's mercy and deliberately makes mistakes, wantedly makes mistakes, then Krishna will do the needful to rectify that person's rebellious mentality. That's what happened to Indra and other people. One should not
misunderstand this shloka. Apiche suduracharo bhajate vamananya sadhureva samantavya. Because apiche suduracharo bhajate vamananya bhag is an important line. Although he is doing sudurachara, abominable activities, very abominable activities, he is doing ananya bhag without any distraction or deviation. He is worshipping Krishna. While doing devotional service of Krishna, if he happens to make some mistakes out of past impressions or habits or unintentionally, accidentally, then Krishna may forgive. But deliberately committed mistakes are definitely they need to be dealt with in an appropriate manner. So finally, after this series of shlokas, Krishna speaks the 34th shloka. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhya jimam namaskuru. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. We saw Gita is the essence of all Upanishads, and Bhakti Yoga is the essence of Gita, and the 9th and 10th chapters are the essence of Bhakti Yoga, and 9.34 is the essence of the middle two chapters. Essence, Gita is essence, Bhakti Yoga is essence of essence, 9 and 10 chapters are essence of the essence of the essence, 9.34 is essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. Essence power 4. You want essence power 5? Let's do that also. Manmana means to always think of Krishna. Bhava bhakto means to become a devotee. If you are always thinking of Krishna, are you not a devotee? Why Krishna is speaking? If it is the essential shloka, why he has to repeat the same thing again? Manmana, always think of Krishna, and Bhava bhakto, become my devotee. These two are not seen. One can constantly think of Krishna, 24 hours think about Krishna without being a devotee of Krishna. You know the example. Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupal. So many people became 24 hours thoroughly Krishna conscious. With envy, with hatred, with anger, with fear, also they became Krishna conscious. Therefore, Krishna said that you always think of me not with a negative emotion. You always think of me with a positive emotion as a devotee, not like Hiranyakashipu, not like Kamsa, not like Shishupal. You always think of me, Manmana, like a devotee, like a bhakta, like Prahlad Maharaj, like Dhruva Maharaj. You think like that, like Ambarish Maharaj. Therefore, Mad Bhakto is an important word, very key word. And Madhyaji worship me. Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisance to me. Of these four, essentially the point is Manmana. Because essence of all scriptures, all the prescriptions and prohibitions, rules and regulations is Manmana, to always think of Krishna. Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavyo na jatuchit. Sarve vidhi nishedhasyur etayoreva kinkaraha. All the vidhis and nishedhas, prescriptions and prohibitions, rules and regulations of all the shastras culminate in these two statements. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Therefore, Manmana is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. Essence for that. Manmana, to always think of Krishna. Krishna says this in several other shlokas also, not only in this shloka. Krishna says, Maya Veshya Mano Yema Nitya Yukta Upasate. Mayi Aveshya Mano Ema. Engage your mind in me. Maya Aveshya Mano Ema. Manmana is think of me. Mayeva Mana Adhatsva Mayi Buddhim Niveshaya. Mayeva Mana Adhatsva means engage your mind in me. In always thinking of me. Then Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paryupasate. Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Without any distractions in the mind. Ananya. Anya means something else. Ananya means something else. Ananya Chintayantomam. Without keeping any other thought in the mind, Chintayantomam, always remember me. Be conscious of me. How many times Krishna is using the word mind? Oftentimes we get this doubt. Why mind? Why mind? Krishna intelligence. In the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gave the hierarchy of our bodily elements. Senses are inferior to mind. Mind is inferior to intelligence. Intelligence is inferior to the soul. Soul is superior to intelligence. Intelligence is superior to mind. Mind is superior to senses. Senses are superior to dull matter. So Krishna said in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If mind is inferior to intelligence, if intelligence is superior to mind, why engaging mind is given more prominence than engaging intelligence? Krishna should say not manmana, mai buddhi. He already said in the previous chapter also, 10.8, Krishna said in the next chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Buddha means using intelligence. Bhava means emotions, mind. Don't just intellectually understand Krishna's greatness, emotionally taste Krishna's sweetness. That's why it is Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. If you just with your buddhi, if you understand Krishna, that is not sufficient. You should have bhava for Krishna. You should have love for Krishna, emotional bonding with Krishna. That is the highest form of Krishna consciousness. And that's what all the gopis of Vrindavan are also doing. Gopis of Vrindavan are worshipping Krishna, serving Krishna not because they intellectually understood that Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. Because they have emotional bonding with Krishna. They love Krishna because Krishna is Krishna, not because Krishna is God. They are constantly thinking of Krishna, whatever they are doing. Yado hane vahanane mathano palepa prinkan khanar bharudito kshana marjanado gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukanthiyo dhanyavrajastriya urukrama chittayanaha. Yadohane, whether they are milking the cows or threshing the grains or swinging on swings or taking care of their crying babies or sprinkling water mixed with cow dung on their courtyards or doing cooking or churning buttermilk or whatever they are doing. Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukanthiyo. Gayanti, they are constantly singing the glories of the Lord, not just with their mouth, with their tongues, with their throats. Anurakta dhiya, with their minds completely absorbed, they are doing dhyana. This is meditation. Anurakta dhiyo ashrukanthiyo. Their voices are faltering. Their eyes were shedding tears out of love for Krishna. And their mind is totally absorbed in Krishna. Dhanyavrajastriya urukramachitta yanaha. Dhanya. They are the most fortunate people, most exalted personalities, the gopis of Vrindavan. By urukrama chitta yanaha, their chitta, their mind is constantly absorbed in thinking about Krishna. Yashoda Mata, she is churning butter for Krishna. Shaumam vasaha pruthukatate bibhrati sutranadham putra sneha snuta kuchayugam jatakam pamcha subhru rajvakarshashrama bhujachalat kankanau kundalecha svinnam vaktram kabara vigalan malati nirmamantha shaumam vasaha pruthukatate. She is wearing a saffronish yellow sari. Pruthukatate, she has a belt around her waist. Vibhrati sutranadham putra sneha snuta kucha yugam jata kampam cha subhru. Because of putra sneha, because of her deep affection for her darling child Krishna, so she was churning buttermilk for Krishna, butter for Krishna, and milk is automatically flowing from her body out of her deep affection. And as she was churning buttermilk, her mind was thinking of Krishna's pastimes, her tongue was singing Krishna's songs, and her hands were engaged in Krishna's service. Body, mind, and words completely dedicated to Krishna. Of these three, mind, getting absorbed in Krishna's thoughts, is the highest. So we see that the gopis of Vrindavan have an emotional bonding with Krishna. They are connecting with Krishna through the mind. So that is prominent. Engaging senses is automatically there. Using their intelligence to serve Krishna most effectively, that is automatically there, right? But having an emotional bonding with Krishna is the highest thing. Therefore, Krishna said, Man mana, always think of me. We discussed some 4-5 shlokas, right? Where Krishna instructs us, you connect with me through mind, through emotions. One more shloka is in the 8th chapter. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. Anusmara is what? Again, mind. Engage your mind in me. Mamanusmara yudhyacha. Mayarpita mano buddher. Mame vaishyasi asamshaya. May arpita mana. Offer your mind. Second time he is saying. Buddhi. Buddhi also offer. Then you will come to me. Asamshaya. When Krishna says something, no need to doubt it. But when Krishna says something and adds asamshaya, you should not doubt it. You should not doubt it at all. Right? You should not doubt whatever Krishna says. And if Krishna says, don't doubt me, then you should not doubt at all. So engage your mind in me. Develop an emotional connect with me, bond with me. And naturally, you will come to me. So Krishna said. So the essence of Bhagavad Gita basically is Krishna consciousness. To be always conscious of Krishna. To be always conscious of Krishna is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Manmana. And this manmana only comes in 9.34, which Acharyas consider the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence, and which Krishna repeats in the end. 18th chapter also he repeats the same thing. Manmana sloka comes in the 18th chapter also. But Krishna also repeats this manmana point, thinking of Krishna throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Now, let's come back to the original question that we posed. If intelligence is superior to Krishna, why mind is given more prominence? Why emotional bonding is given more prominence? When we engage our intelligence in Krishna, Krishna's service, that's considered superior Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not just engaging mind, engaging everything. I think of Krishna, I don't do any service to Krishna. Does it work? I think of Krishna, I don't know anything about Krishna. Does it work? Engaging mind in Krishna is highest. That's Krishna consciousness. But that does not mean other faculties are not engaged. Others are also engaged. Yat Krishna pranipata dholi dhavalam tadvashma tadvaishira tenetre tamasodhite suruchire yabhyam harir drishyate sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala yamadhavadhyayini sa jihvamrita varshini pratipadam yastauti narayanam. Yat Krishna pranipata dhuli dhavalam. You offer pranipata unto Krishna, offer obeisances to Krishna with the touch of Krishna's dust at Krishna's lotus feet. Dhavalam, your head becomes whitish. Then your head is the best head. Means engaging your head in Krishna's service is also mentioned. Tenetre tamasodhite suruchire yabhyam harir drishyate. Engaging your eyes in seeing the beautiful deity form of Krishna is also Krishna consciousness. Okay. Engaging your head in bowing down in front of Krishna is Krishna consciousness. Engaging your eyes in seeing Krishna is Krishna consciousness. Sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala yamadhavadhyayini. Sa buddhir. Buddhi means intelligence. In this material world, usually intelligence is contaminated with analysis and plan making for sense gratification. That is called contaminated intelligence, polluted intelligence. But this shloka says, Sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala. Vimala, mala is contamination or spots. Vimala means spotless. Indu means moon. Moon has so many spots, right? Even if you compare somebody's great intelligence with moon, there are spots there. That's why it said, Vimalendu. Imagine a moon that has no spots. Another comparison, Shankha. Shankha is conch shell, that is pure white, pristine white. Sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala. So the conch shell is pure white, spotless moon is pure white, and that intelligence which constantly meditates about Krishna, and that intelligence which is constantly engaged in understanding Krishna's nama, rupa, guna, lila is spotless intelligence. Sa buddhir vimalendu shankha dhavala yamadhavadhyayini sa jihvamrita varshini pratipadam yastauti narayanam. Jihva amrita varshini. That jihva, that tongue which is constantly showering amrit, nectar. What is amrit? That is glorification of Krishna. Kirtan. Kirtan. Kirtan is two types, singing and glorifying. Kirti means glory of Krishna, glories. Kirtan means to glorify Krishna. That glorification of Krishna can be done either through singing or through speaking or through actions also. body, mind and words all can glorify Krishna. When you are doing jhadu puja, when you are grooming and mopping Krishna's temple, that is kirtan of Krishna. You are glorifying Krishna. He is great. I am blessed. That's like spreading Krishna's glories, acknowledging Krishna's glories. That is also kirtan. So kirtan is done in all ways, but generally kirtan is done with tongue. So that's why Sajihvamruta Varshini Pratipadam. If every word that the Jihva emanates, if every padam that comes out of Jihva, if every word that comes out of one's tongue is glorification of Krishna, that is the best Jihva. Let us not utilize our tongues to speak Jalpa, to gossip about people, to find faults with people, and do all kinds of other materialistic talks. But if we can engage our tongues in glorifying Krishna constantly, not only on mic, off mic also, in our private conversations also, that's also Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness is not just engaging mind, Krishna consciousness is engaging body, intelligence, in all other faculties that we have, senses. However, engaging mind is more important. But we cannot come to that stage immediately. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, this is also entitled Bhakti Yoga. First he says, Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. You always engage your mind in me. Means think of me always. If you can't do that, mayi buddhim niveshaya. Then engage your buddhi in me. Means understanding Krishna intellectually is on an inferior plane compared to connecting with Krishna emotionally. Emotional bonding with Krishna, deep emotional connection with Krishna is on a higher plane. Just an intellectual understanding of Krishna's tattva is on a secondary plane. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. If you can't engage your mind in me, engage your buddhi in me. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur says, Mayyeva manadhatsva is smaranatmika bhakti, Krishna smarana. Mayi buddhim niveshaya is mananatmika bhakti, manana. Mananatmika bhakti. Yeah. Chapter. And so yeah, doing manan of all Krishna's tattva and all. If you can't even do that, if you can't even engage your intelligence in Krishna's service, engage in Krishna's service. Engage your senses, engage your body in Krishna's service. This is called Abhyasa Rupa Bhakti, engaging senses in Krishna's service. In the stage of sadhana, in the sadhana bhakti stage, we cannot completely engage our mind in Krishna's service. Not so easy. 8 hours of chanting, 8 hours of hearing Harikatha, and 8 hours of practical service, cooking for Krishna, making garland for Krishna, which is easier. The last one, third one, right? Generally speaking. The first one is easier for you, you are exalted devotee. You are at the level of Mayyeva Manadhatsva, you are at the level of Smaranatmika Bhakti. But generally an average sadhaka finds engaging senses in Krishna's service more absorbing than absorbing mind in Krishna, because mind is distracted. Prabhupada says in the third canto purports, when you close your eyes and try to think of Krishna, think of Krishna's form, many other forms will manifest. When you close your eyes and meditate on the leelas of Krishna, many other leelas will manifest. Many other pastimes and interactions, heated up interactions especially we have with other people, they will manifest. Therefore, Prabhupada says, for a sadhaka, smaranam is shravanam. By hearing, you can absorb yourself more than closing your eyes and meditating. For a sadhaka, smaranam is archanam. By opening your eyes and seeing Krishna's form is easier than closing your eyes and meditating on Krishna's form. And offering archan, you just offer deep to the lotus feet, slowly come to the navel, slowly come to the face, and offer garlands and then dress the deities, decorate the deities, put painting on Krishna's face like Kubja did. So that's more absorbing. So engage our senses in Krishna's service. All are important. Gopis are engaging their senses in Krishna's service, but their mind is already absorbed. So with deep loving emotions, They're engaging their senses in Krishna's service, and they're engaging their intelligence in planning for Krishna's service. But for a sadhaka, we should engage our senses in Krishna's service to develop emotional bonding with Krishna. They're engaging senses in Krishna's service with emotional bonding. Now our aim is emotion. The aim of sadhana bhakti is bhava bhakti. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. We do sadhana with our senses. What is the definition of sadhana bhakti as given by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Definition of sadhana bhakti is to engage our senses in Krishna's seva according to the dictations of scriptures and Guru. Guru teaches us, do this service. Guru tells us, scriptures tell us, do this service. So we engage our senses in Krishna's service. So what is the significance of following Guru's instructions? Our material desires, our desires for sense gratification are like ripples on a river that will never stop. But when the flowing river meets an ocean, the heavy tides, the waves of the ocean will completely dominate these ripples on the river, isn't it? So which is more prominent when the river meets the ocean? The ocean's waves or the ripples of river? Ocean's waves. Guru's desires and plans to serve Krishna are compared with the waves of the ocean. And the disciples' desires for sense gratification are compared with ripples on river. So Guru instructs the disciple, and disciple engages oneself in Krishna's service according to the instructions of Guru. Then all the material desires are completely gone. Right? So we'll become one with Guru's desires to serve Krishna. That's Krishna consciousness. Therefore, sadhana bhakti is to engage our senses in Krishna's seva. And of course, mind is also considered one of the senses. We have 10 senses. 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas. I will not say what are they, The 11th sense is mind. So that is also sense, but it is the boss of the senses, the best of all the senses. So we need to engage our senses in Krishna's service. It's not that in sadhana bhakti, there is no emotion at all. That's not the message there. There is some little emotion, but it's not so consistent emotion. When you go in front of the deities on a festival day, the darshan is so beautiful. You go to Radha Madhav in Mayapur or Radha Shyam Sundar in Vrindavan. For a few moments, you are so absorbed in the beautiful form of the Lord. You experience an emotional connect with Krishna on a festival day or on a daily basis also when you are offering prayers. For a few moments, you have that intense emotions for Krishna. But after a minute or few minutes, you are back to normal. As if we came out of trance. Right? All that prayerful attitude, all the intense emotions and humility that manifests in that intense emotions. So that evaporates. I don't know how. Right? Sometimes when we are reading one shloka of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or hearing a pastime of some devotee in Bhagavatam, Ambarish Maharaj's humility, or in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vasudeva Datta's humility, when we hear all that, for a moment, hairs may stand on end. For a moment, we feel so connected to the process. For a moment, we are so inspired. We become so humble. We become so grateful for that opportunity. But after a few moments, we are back to normal. Same old struggling sadhaka, dozing off in japa. But in sadhana bhakti also, Krishna gives us some glimpses of what bhava bhakti would be. How sweet bhava bhakti could be. If only we can consistently experience those emotions, we are bhava bhaktas. Vudha bhava samanvita. But at sadhana stage, so oftentimes the sadhaka is distracted by so many things, tempted, allured by distractions presented by Maya. Sometimes there are few rare precious moments where you feel a little more prayerful, more emotional. Means having emotions for Krishna is great. And that experience is given to a devotee little bit, to some degree, in sadhana bhakti. And the more our sadhana increases, the more we get absorbed in sadhana, the more we can maintain the emotions more consistently. For that we need like-minded association. So, essence of Bhagavad Gita is to be Krishna conscious. Mayyeva manadhatsva. Then ananyascintayanto mam. Mam anusmara. But yuddha should also continue. So we need to do our duties. But mam anusmara also should continue. Now let's moving a little more deeper into this point of being Krishna conscious as the essence of Bhagavad Gita. There are some basic things that we need to take care of to come to this stage of constantly being Krishna conscious. They are avoiding sensual distractions, as Krishna speaks in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Conquering lust, as Krishna speaks in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because lust is the all-devouring enemy that completely distracts us from what we are supposed to be. Greed. Then in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives knowledge. Knowledge about his own self. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And he also says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrujamyaham. In this way, Krishna speaks so much about his own self, not to boast about himself, but to boost our faith in him. So Krishna expects us to know him properly. Know me thoroughly. This is jnana. Jnana is not some speculative knowledge by analyzing material elements. The real jnana is to understand Krishna's nama, rupa, guna, lila. The real knowledge is to have a complete or perfect understanding of Krishna's intentions and Krishna's integrity. Krishna's intentions are so pure. Even if the Lord creates some reversals in a devotee's life, his intention is only to connect that devotee to himself even more. Oh, you are forgetting me when you have material prosperity. In materially comfortable situations, you are not being Krishna conscious. So I will make you Krishna conscious by giving you some difficulties. Krishna is our well-wisher. That Krishna reveals in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva lokamaheshwaram suhurdam sarva bhutanam natva mam shanti vricchati. Understand that I am the enjoyer. Bhokta. I am the bhokta. You are not the bhokta. I am the bhokta. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Whatever endeavors you take up, the enjoyer of all the endeavors is me, not you. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva lokamaheshwaram. You may think you have so much property. You are a multi-millionaire. You have so many acres of land in multiple spots on the planet. You have so many buildings, so many holiday spots. Do you have so many branches of your company? You are CEO. You are this. You are that. I am the Bhokta. I am the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I have 14 planetary systems. I have 14 floor building, but I have 14 planetary systems with me. And by the way, these 14 planetary systems are within one universe. And I have millions and trillions of universes. How many? He will give a goni, okay, with mustard seeds, and he will throw it in front of you. Count them. Those many are there. More than that. These many universes are there. And each universe has its own planetary systems and jivas, and Krishna is a proprietor of all of them. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. If you are proud of our property, just think slightly about how much property Krishna has. He is the husband of the goddess of fortune. And that Krishna, on behalf of his dear devotees Pandavas, goes to Duryodhana and says, Duryodhana, can you please give 5 villages to Pandavas? And Duryodhana, out of his arrogance, he says, forget 5 villages. I cannot give even that much land that is accommodated under the tip of a needle. He is speaking to Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Duryodhana is so proud of this little Hastinapur kingdom, and he doesn't know that Krishna is Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. In South India, the Lord is glorified oftentimes with this phrase, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. So Akhilanda Koti means unlimited universes, Brahmandas. Akhila, Anda Koti. Universes are compared to Andas, eggs. Koti means 1 crore. Ananta Koti, not just 1 crore, multiple crores. Nayaka, he's the master, he's the proprietor. So although he's the proprietor of the entire cosmos, which is just 1/4 of the entire existence. 3/4 is spiritual world. In that there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets, where people are serving Krishna with so much of love and affection. Although he is the master of the entire existence, although he is the enjoyer of all our activities, he says, I am your well-wisher. Suhurdam sarva bhutana. Even if you commit such sinful, abominable activities, even if you are a sudurachari, even if you take birth as an ant or an insect or a pig or a dog or a worm in stool also, I will not leave you. I will stay right within your heart as super soul, as Paramatma. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Sarvasya chaham hridhan nivishto mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He stays right within our hearts. Who can be closer to us than the person who sits always in our hearts? Who can be closer to us than the person who always keeps track of our activities more than we do? There may be CC cameras that may fail sometimes, but the CC camera inside is eternally charged to capture every audio, every video, every word, how much data, how much capacity he has, how many GBs of memory he has. He doesn't forget. Every single thought that crossed in our minds in innumerable lifetimes, Krishna remembers. Not to just scrutinize us or penalize us or punish us. He's not taking pleasure in punishing anybody, just to benefit us. Okay, even if there is little thought in this person, positive thought, I will give him an opportunity to do some bhakti. I will bring him in touch with devotees. Some adhyanta sukriti. Okay, push him. Go to association of devotees. They will take care of you. They will bring you to me. That's what Krishna does. He scrutinizes us. He analyzes our activities, not to punish us. Punishment is not his intention at all. Rejection is not his intention at all. Rectification is his intention. He wants to rectify our mentality. When Duryodhan was lying in a pool of blood with his thigh broken by Bhima's gada, Krishna was so compassionate upon Duryodhan. I told you hundreds of times. I gave you so many chances. I personally became a messenger to convince you to give up your envy towards Pandavas and make a compromise, but you never listened to me. This is what I had to do. I had to instigate Bhima to do this for you. The Lord is never happy to punish a soul. After all, mother is never happy to punish a mischievous child. But she is obliged to scold a mischievous child or punish a mischievous child only for the welfare of the child. He is Suhurdam Sarva Bhutana. So Krishna reveals his heart. So Krishna said instruction. Be Krishna conscious. Mayyava manadhatsva. Mayyavesha manoyema. And Ananyaschintayuntamam. Krishna is not just demanding us. You should always think of me only. Krishna is speaking this out of compassion, out of deep feelings and emotions for us. I am your well-wisher, therefore think of me. Don't think of anyone else. When a mother or a father tells the child, just hold my hand only, beta, don't go anywhere. Is it arrogance? One 7-year-old boy asked, "Bro, why Krishna is saying, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, mali sarvavidam protam sutregam maniganaiva." Nobody is superior to me. I am the source of everything. Is Krishna saying this out of false pride? Little kids are having this question. Why Krishna is boasting about himself? He is boasting about himself to boost your faith in him. Unless he categorically, authoritatively, conclusively establishes what his position is, how can you understand where he is and how can you surrender to him? When Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja, it's not like a demand for surrender. It's a humble expression of his own well-wishing nature. Yes, you surrender to me, I will take care of you. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Ma shuchaha, don't worry. I will relieve you from all sinful reactions. I will take care of you. I will protect you. When Krishna said, Ananyas chintayanto mam yajana paripasate. It's not that he's demanding, you always think of me, don't think of anything else. Ananyas. It seems very like big demand. But Krishna followed it up with a promise. Yoga kshemam mahamyaham. In Sarvadharman Parityajya he's saying, it seems like he's demanding surrender, but at the end of the shloka he says, Mashuchaha. Aham tam sarvapabhyo mokshayishyami. I will relieve you from all sinful reactions. In his 9.22 he said, always think of me, don't get distracted in my thought at all. But he said, Yogakshemam Bahamiham, I will protect you. I will supply you whatever you don't have. I will preserve whatever you have. Means, I don't have car, will Krishna give me car? I don't have a diamond necklace, will Krishna give me diamond necklace? No. Whatever is required for your spiritual advancement, whatever you need to attain Krishna Prema, Krishna will supply that. And whatever you have that is facilitating your attainment of Krishna Prema, Krishna will preserve that. If something that you have is not conducive for your spiritual advancement, Krishna will take it away. Then also he is Yogakshemam Mahamiham. He is Yogakshemam Mahamiham. He doesn't compromise on his definitions. And the Vedas and the scriptures have described him in a certain way. Krishna perfectly aligns with that description. That is his nature. Basically, Vedas are describing his nature only. Apparently, Krishna may seemingly contradict his own tattva. In Damodar Leela, my God, how many features of Krishna did Krishna himself compromise? He is Atmaram, self-satisfied. He became Stanyakam. He became desirous of Mother Yashoda's milk. Atmaram became Stanyakam. He is Aptakam. All his desires are completely fulfilled. But he is dependent on Mother Yashoda with his desire for little milk. He cannot fulfill that desire. Milk is there, he is living in the ocean of milk. But Yashoda Mata doesn't give milk. And he becomes disappointed, he cries. He is Sachidananda Vigraha. But he is crying. Rudantam muhurnetra yabam rujantam. He is rubbing his eyes. Ocean of tears are coming. He is fastest, but he gets caught so fast. Yashoda Mata is caught him. Even yogis cannot capture him. Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. Great yogis cannot capture Krishna's, even lotus feet, glimpse of Krishna's lotus feet within their hearts, even after thousands of years of meditation. And Yashodama just caught his right hand, and arrested him. I'll bind you up. And Krishna is bending his head. I'm a criminal, and she's the judge. Vrindavan is our court. Gopya dade tvai krita gasida matavadyate dashashrukalila sambharamaksham vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhirapi yadvibheti. Even fear personified is fearful of Krishna, and Krishna becomes fearful of a little stick in Yashodamata's hand. And Krishna keeps track of the offenses of all the people and sends an SMS to Yamaraj, vanish this fellow in this way. Put him in Kumbhibaka for the next 10,000 years. And Yamaraj will execute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he becomes fearful. Tvai kritagasi. Agasi means offense. How many offenses did Krishna commit? And someone has to judge and evaluate and then decide what kind of punishment suits this boy. He has done these offenses. He broke butter pot. He stole butter. He distributed butter to the monkeys. He ran away from mother. And he made the mother run away, run behind him in all the streets of Vrindavan. And finally he is caught and he is speaking lies. He is blaming her. So many offenses Krishna has done. So the appropriate punishment is arrest. Arrest with what? With what? A soft household silken robe. And tie him to a small wooden grinding mortar. That is Mother Yashoda's judgment. Plus, no milk products for you. No toys for you. No playmates for you. No movement for you. For how long? As long as her anger exists. And Krishna surrenders. This is Krishna. If you do Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, if you do Manmana Bhavad Bhakto, if you follow Mayaveshya Manoyemam Nitya Yukta Upasati, and if you follow Mayeva Manadhatsva Mayi Buddhim Niveshaya, this is what you can do to me. I will be captivated by your love. I will be controlled by your love. I will be arrested by your love. Sadhyo hriti avarudhyate atra kriti susrushi vistakshanat. You relish Krishna's pastimes, follow the prescribed sadhana that Krishna gives in Gita and Bhagavatam gives, then Krishna likes to be arrested in your heart for eternity. That does not mean someone else cannot arrest you. Krishna will be arrested in their hearts also. One person can be simultaneously arrested by so many people in so many prisons. Right? That's only Krishna. So all the 16,108 queens of Krishna can arrest Krishna within their palaces. All the hundreds and thousands of gopis of Vrindavan can feed Krishna out of motherly affection in their homes. And Krishna expands himself into hundreds of forms. I have that much love. The greatest quality of Krishna is his quality of manifesting love for his devotees. The greatest opulence of Krishna is his ability to reciprocate with the intense love of his devotees. He uses his opulence to do creation. Creation requires opulence. Maintenance requires opulence. Distraction requires opulence. Paritranaya sadhuna, vinayashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. To do all these activities that Krishna is doing, he manifests so many opulences. But the greatest opulence of Krishna is manifested in his intention, in his desire to reciprocate with the love and affection of his devotees. That is the greatest opulence of Krishna. On the bank of Yamuna, Krishna sits to take his lunch, and all the other little gopas, they surround Krishna in a circle. And more gopas are there, they form a second circle, then third circle, fourth circle. Hundreds of concentric circles of gopas are there, and Krishna is sitting right in the middle. Every single gopa gets this feeling that Krishna is looking at me only, and I am seeing Krishna only. And Krishna is feeding me, putting food into my mouth, and I am feeding Krishna, putting food into his mouth. So, although the gopa is 10 circles away from Krishna, 20 meters away from Krishna, or on the left side of Krishna, right side of Krishna, behind Krishna, in front of Krishna, southwest side of Krishna, or northwest side of Krishna, every gopa gets the same feeling. Krishna is with me, he's in front of me, he's seeing me, he's smiling at me, he's playing with me, he's feeding me, he's being fed by me. Same thing happened in Govardhan Lila also. Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. All the Vrajavasis, in all directions under Govardhan. In fact, Govardhan is a very big mountain. On top of it, by Krishna's touch, to accommodate all the Vrajavasis and Varsanavasis, Govardhan mountain expanded also. Then hundreds and thousands of Vrajavasis were there, of all different rasas. Some Dasya Bhaktas, some Sakya Bhaktas, some Vatsalya Bhaktas, some Madhurya Bhaktas, cows, calves, monkeys, peacocks, gopas, gopis, mothers, fathers. Every single devotee is getting that experience of seeing Krishna face to face, and being seen by Krishna and being smiled at by Krishna. Krishna's smile and glance upon his friends is very playful. Krishna smiles on Radharan and some gopis is a little romantic. And Krishna smiles on his elders, respectable elders, is filled with reverence. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata and other elderly gopas. This is how Krishna can reciprocate simultaneously with different devotees in different moods. To that degree, Krishna has appetite to serve us. Ye yathamam prapadyanti tamstathaiva bhajamyaham. Krishna is saying bhajami aham. The way you approach me, I will reciprocate with you, bhajami aham. But we are not saying Govinda Madhapurusham tam aham bhajami. When we say aham bhajami, Krishna will say bhajami aham. Same words. We do bhajami, he will also do bhajami. Govinda Madhapurusham tam aham bhajami. Yethama prapadyante tam staryava bhajami aham. Same words. We should say. But we have aham, therefore we don't do bhajami. But if we can do aham bhajami, then Krishna will say bhajami aham. That is Krishna. So Krishna reveals his heart throughout Bhagavad Gita, and specifically in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, who is a VIP for him? Of all the living entities on this planet, few are human souls. Of all the hundreds and millions of living entities, yogis, those who are doing some kind of yoga, trying to connect with Krishna, they are better, they are the best. Of all such yogis, one who connects with me with a devotion is the best. Yogi namapi sarvesha madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo matah. Of all the yogis, best yogi is one who connects with Krishna through devotional service. So to connect with Krishna through bhakti, through love, through affection, we need to do these basic things as described in the last 6 chapters and the first 6 chapters. Sense control, mind control, controlling one's material desires, and understanding how Maya is powerful. The 3 gates to hell. कामयेश क्रोधयेश रजोगुण समुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्धीयेन यः वैरिणाम्. Understand that lust is the all-devouring sinful enemy for all living entities. Try to regulate that. So many don'ts are given apart from do's. And do's are given, instructions are given with sufficient logic and emotion. If you logically explain something to other people, it may appeal to their intelligence. But if you also speak that as a well-wisher with proper appropriate emotion, that will appeal to their heart, then they will stick to the process. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he tries to convince us both logically and emotionally. I love you so much, please understand. Yethamam prapadyanti tamstaya bhajamyaham mahashuchaha yogakshemam vahamyaham. He is expressing all his emotions. Apiche suduracharo bhajate mamanindabha sadhureva samantave. Even if you make some mistakes, I will forgive you. Don't worry. I am accommodative God. I am not just a legislative God. I am a very accommodative God. Please understand my emotions. So Krishna is not only giving some logical expressions. There are so many emotional expressions also in Bhagavad Gita. And he is also saying, don't just logically understand me. Have an emotional bonding with me. Buddha bhava samanvita. And Krishna says also, don't do this, don't do this. Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kama krodhastatha lobha. Initially Krishna said in the initial chapters, first section, he said kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhava. He spoke only kama and krodha, desire and anger. Unfulfilled desire leads to anger. But Krishna added lobha at the end, the third half, the third part. So kama, what is that? Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kama krodha tatha lobha. Logic is kama, desire. When it is not fulfilled, there is krodha, anger. When it is fulfilled, there is lobha. Right? Whether you fulfill a material desire or can't fulfill a material desire, entanglement guaranteed. Right? So when our desires are material, then if we fulfill the desire, we will become more and more greedy to experience that sense enjoyment more and more and more. When the desire is not fulfilled, we keep hankering. Desire is not fulfilled, desire is not fulfilled. And we will take more and more lifetimes. When the desire is fulfilled, oh, this is very nice. I want to explore it more and more and more. Then you will take more and more lifetimes. So material desires are meant to be rejected, neither accepted. They are not supposed to be accepted. Don't feel frustrated when they are not fulfilled. Don't feel so excited when they are fulfilled. Because fulfillment or no fulfillment, entanglement guaranteed. So Krishna says, try to tolerate not only happiness but also distress. Sorry, not only distress but also happiness. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama apayinu anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Titiksha. Please be tolerant. Tolerate happiness and distress both. Just because there is some distress, don't become so demotivated, discouraged, depressed. Deal with the distress in an appropriate way, but don't become depressed. Don't become devastated. Don't become dysfunctional. Similarly, rejoice a happy moment. You can experience sukha, not an issue. But don't become so overwhelmed with that happiness. Don't become so proud. Don't become so overconfident. So happiness is entangling. Distress is also entangling. If it is on a material plane. Whether you sit in AC compartment or general compartment in a train, you will reach the destination at the same time. Just because you are sitting in an AC compartment, you will not reach the destination faster. Similarly, although you are getting happiness, you may have some little comfortable experience in the material world, but you are in the material world only. Don't desire material happiness. Desires will never end. Padyavali. This is a beautiful shloka. Kashayana cha bhojanadi niyamano vavane vasato vyakhyana dathava bruhavrata bharat चित्तोद्भव क्षीयते किंतु स्फीटकलिन्दशैलतनया तीरे च विक्रीडतो गोविन्दस्य पदारविन्दभजनारम्भस्य लेशादपि काषायान्न च भोजनादि नियमान्. By wearing kashaya, by wearing saffron, material desires will not go away. Bhojanadi niyaman, by regulating your diet, it's good to regulate the diet, but just by diet regulations, material desires may not go. In fact, the 11th canto of Bhagavatam says, by fasting, you can control all the senses, because all the senses will automatically become weak. Sense control is automatically achieved by fasting. But one sense cannot be controlled by fasting. That is tongue. Not false ego. Of course, false ego. That will increase the false ego by fasting. Tongue cannot be controlled. Okay. After one full day of fasting of Nirjal, for example, so, na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram you can say. Na bhojanam. That you cannot say. Dhanam, janam, sundaram I can reject. But bhojanam I cannot. So, that fasting will increase appetite. So, bhojanadi niyaman. By diet regulation we cannot control material desires. Kashayana cha bhojanadi niyaman novavane vasato. Vanavas. By giving up palace, by giving up all the facilities, royal facilities, you enter one forest, secluded forest, and then sit there. Does it control your lust? No. Vyakhyana, by studying commentaries and analyzing Sanskrit, so much of intellectual analysis, will that control your lust? No. Munivrata chala, Munivrata bharat, by taking the vows of a Muni, Monovrata, etc. That will also not control one's material desires. Govindasya padaravinda bhajanarambhasya leshadapi. If you start serving Lord Govinda's lotus feet even slightly, that's how material desires are destroyed. So otherwise, kama will lead to lobha if it is fulfilled, kama will lead to krodha if it is not fulfilled. And in our pursuance of material desires, whether we fulfill them or not fulfill them, we are entangled in this material world forever. Therefore, Krishna says, give that up. Take my shelter. Sarva dharman partyajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. No one else. Mam ekam. Because no one else has the ability to deliver us. And come to me with pure heart. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomeva. Ya prayachati. Come to me with bhakti, with devotion, with pure heart, without any material expectations. There are other people. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna. Artha, jignasu, artharthi, gnani cha bharatarshava. Some people, artha bhaktas, they come seeking relief. They are relief seekers. They want shanti. They want peace. They don't want bhakti. They want peace. Then jignasu bhakta, very curious. What is that? What is this? Why Krishna is standing in threefold bending form? Why come straight? Why can't he stand straight? Why can't he stand straight like Balaji? He is Balaji, he is Krishna. Both forms are good. We worship Balaji, no problem. So, and they are materially curious also. This new model, what are the specifications of this new model car? So they are curious about material things. They are curious about spiritual things also. They are jignasu bhaktas. Some are artharthi bhaktas. They want money, Lakshmi. They want only money. But Some are wise people. They have little more knowledge. They come to Krishna. But all of them are not pure devotees. They are great people, but they are not pure devotees. But Krishna expects us to become pure in your intentions. When your intentions are pure in worshipping me, then I will give myself to you. When you want something else, then you will get it something else also. When we are having even slightest interest in this material world, Krishna will say, okay, go and fulfill your curiosity. Of course, that may seem very harsh statement. That's only to inspire us to give up material desires on our own. But Krishna will help us to get rid of material desires also, by the way. Let's not become hopeless. Some statements of scriptures, they are so scary that we become hopeless. But scriptures are not meant to make us hopeless. They are meant to make us hopeful. Krishna is merciful. So if we connect with the merciful aspect of Krishna, that will increase our enthusiasm to connect with Krishna. But if we focus only on the strictness of Krishna, stricter aspect of Krishna, that may consciously or unconsciously make us feel little dry in bhakti or fearful in bhakti. The motivation, absorption in bhakti can become fear. So let us understand Krishna's heart. Ultimately, Krishna's heart is soft. He may throw people, namam dushkirtuno modha prapadyante naradhamaha, asurim bhavamashrita. So they are asurim bhava, I will just throw them into hell, Krishna says. But he is saying it out of frustration and compassion and not in a mode of rejection. Ultimately, Krishna wants them to come back to normal. Krishna's ultimate mode is compassion only, not strictness. So scriptures also present some things, that is some strict statements, but the strict statements are meant to give us a caution note. Be alert in bhakti, but don't be hard-hearted. We need to understand Krishna's soft heart with a soft heart. But if you only focus on jnana and vairagya without bhakti, Rupa Goswami says, that will make our heart hard. Jnana and vairagya, knowledge and detachment without devotion will make your heart very hard. But we are meant to be soft-hearted. We are meant to understand how soft Krishna's heart is. Then we can connect with Krishna. Then we can connect with emotional bonding of Krishna. We are oftentimes on the stricter side or the harsh side of Krishna. There is this shloka from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bahujanma kare yadi shravana kirtan tabuna paibe Krishna pade premadhan. Even if you chant and hear for so many lifetimes, you will not get Krishna. Krishna prema. But you do it with offenses. That's to encourage us to avoid offenses. Not to make us hopeless. Krishna prema possible ही नहीं मेरे. If that is your conclusion, then you have not understood the statement properly. That's meant to give us a caution. And on the other side, if we just overly focus only on the merciful side of Krishna, then we become very lax in bhakti. Kam vadayalum saranam brajeva. After all, I am not Putana. I never try to kill Krishna. No problem. I can get in spiritual world. If not mother, at least a small gopi. Or a manjari at least. So, the merciful side of Krishna should not make us overconfident and complacent in bhakti. The stricter side of Krishna should not make us hopeless in bhakti. Let's have balance. See that, take that caution notes and be more alert in bhakti. And see this emotional, this merciful expressions and have some encouragement in bhakti in a balanced way, just progress in bhakti. That's what Krishna expects. What's the time now? 44. When are we supposed to end? There's no end to this. If you tell me when to end, then we will end. 1 o'clock. Questions also we need to at 1 o'clock. So Krishna reveals his heart in the 9th chapter of.
We can go to one class.
Okay. Then questions we should take
Yes.
at 1 o'clock.
Yes. 1:15 we can end.
you have any questions now, we can take half an hour questions instead of 15-minute questions. Huh? You tell me what I was supposed to do. Should I speak or take questions?
Speak.
Okay, very good. More words for speaking. So Krishna, he reveals his heart in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and 10th chapter. In fact, throughout Bhagavad Gita he reveals, but he reveals the most confidential part of his heart in the 9th chapter. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam yanasuyave jnanam teham savijnanam yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. You will be completely relieved from all inauspiciousness, ashubhas, when you accept this guhyatama knowledge, most confidential knowledge. Now, our discussion is incomplete. Our discussion on essence of Bhagavad Gita is incomplete without discussing certain expectations that Krishna has from us. That's why some instructions we have discussed. Some don'ts also. Avoid sense enjoyment, control your mind, control your senses. Like a tortoise withdraws its limbs into the shell, you control your mind from being distracted from all allurements. Yato nischalti manaschinchalamascharam. So all that we know. One more important thing is Krishna expects us to cultivate good qualities. What makes a devotee dear to Krishna is his or her character. In the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last 8 shlokas, Krishna says, what makes you dear to me? Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. Then in the 13th chapter also Krishna says, Amanitvam bhittam ahimsa kshanti rajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atma vinigraha. And later Krishna also says in the 16th chapter, Teja kshama dhruti shaucham adroho natimanita bhavanti sampadam daivi abhijatasya bharata. So these are the qualities of a devotee: humility, compassion, gratitude, patience, tolerance, equanimity. How many times Krishna spoke about equanimity in Bhagavad Gita? So many times, equanimity. Then in 2.14, when Krishna said about tolerance, tolerate happiness and distress, in that stage of tolerance, you are still understanding the difference between happiness and distress. But in the next shloka, Krishna says, Yam hinavyathayantyete purusham purusharshabha sama dukkha sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpati. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram, be equipoised in happiness and distress. Whether it is a happy moment or distressful moment, it's equal. One reason for the equality is that they both are temporary. Another reason, both are material. But ultimate reason is both have no relevance to the soul. You are a spirit soul. You are supposed to be experiencing the joy of being with Krishna, and you are supposed to be experiencing the distress of feeling separation from Krishna. Sambhoga and Vipralamba are our happiness and distress. Supposed to be our happiness and distress as souls. But material happiness and material distress, gain and loss, victory and defeat, success and failure, heat and cold, they are material. They are not relevant to you at all. Therefore, you be equipoised. You see? Understand the irrelevance of all material excitements and material exhaustions. Realizing that you are a soul, spirit soul, spiritual being, part and parcel of Krishna, Amsha of Krishna. Realize your spiritual identity. That is yoga. Therefore, Krishna says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. That samatva is yoga. Yoga means connection with Krishna. But to actually connect with Krishna, you need to be equipoised. Samatva, you should have a samatva. Happy moment, you are so excited, elated, overjoyed. Distressful moment, you are so depressed, so morose. You are not ready for liberation, by the way. I am not saying, sorry. Krishna is saying. Even I am also affected by happiness and distress on a material plane, what to do. But I am speaking the truth as per Krishna. He said, Samadukha sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. Amritatva means liberation. Liberated state. When are you qualified for liberated state? When you have samatva. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram. That is samatva is yoga. Yoga means connection with Krishna. Right? When you are connected with Krishna, really connected with Krishna, then sukha and dukkha are of no relevance to you. You are equiposed. Whether it is red toy car or blue toy car, for the father they are same. For the child gets excited with red and may not be excited with black. For the father, I have a real car. Param drishtva nivartate. Right? Whether it is red mobile or green mobile, if it is a toy, it's of no relevance to the father. I can't make any calls. But for a child, they keep pressing their toys and they get so much music and they create noise and disturb others also. They are excited. If you take it away, they are unhappy. But for parents, it's of no relevance because they have higher taste. Similarly, for a conditioned soul, happiness is excitement, distress is exhaustion. But for a realized soul, for a devotee, both are irrelevant. Understand the irrelevance of material happiness and material distress. Samatvam yoga uchyate. If you are still overwhelmed by small gains and small losses, if you are still overwhelmed by an egoistic expectation of honor for oneself, or if you are feeling our ego is hurt because we are dishonored, we have a long way to go to attain Krishna's grace. Krishna says, Sukha dukkha sukha dukkhe samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Whether it is sukha or dukkha, labha or alabha, jaya or apajaya, do your duty. Be equipoised. Don't be attached. Don't be attached to any outcomes. Just go with the flow. Be attached to me. Mayyeva manadhatsa. Sukham dukkham. Another sloka is Sitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanayoh. Sita ushna. Duality is experienced on bodily plane. Heat and cold. Sukha dukkha. Happiness and distress. Duality is experienced on a mental plane. Man apman. Respect and disrespect. Honor and dishonor. Duality is experienced on an egoistic plane. Whether you are experiencing the dualities on a mental plane or a physical plane or an egoistic plane, be equipoised. Don't desire respect and don't hate dishonor, because this life is meant for that only. When we are here, can we avoid winter or summer? When you are staying at place, it is winter, wear jackets. When it is summer, it's summer, put ACs. We have to deal with it, do the needful. Similarly, we cannot avoid honor and dishonor in this way. If we can make all kinds of preparations to deal with winter and summer, heat and cold, why can't we prepare ourselves to deal with happiness and distress on a mental plane and honor and dishonor on an egoistic plane? Ego is hurt. When somebody dishonors us, be prepared for it. Bhagavatam says, Nindanastava satkara nyakarartham kalevaram. This kalevaram, this body, material life, is meant to give us nindana, means criticism. Stava, praise. Satkara, honor. Nyakara, rejection, dishonor. Artham means the purpose of this kalevaram, purpose of this body is to experience the dualities. We are here in this material bodies only to experience dualities. Only means like this. That's one of the main agendas, main programs that Krishna planned for our life. So now we need to use our little minute independence to dovetail our independence in desiring to serve Krishna and come out of these dualities. Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna tries to reclaim all of us by creating situations of frustration and also inspiring us through scriptures, through his appearances, and through acharyas, and to make us understand that this world is not for you, by the way. You are not meant to live here. My dear sir, please come back to me. But how do I come back? I'm so entangled here. Don't worry. You take my shelter. Daivi hiyasha gunamayi mama maya duratya. Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tanantite. Mamevaye prapadyante. When Krishna said, it seems like demanding surrender. But next line is Maya metam tarantute. I will relieve you from Maya. You want to be relieved from Maya? You are getting overly affected by dualities of happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor. Don't worry, you surrender to me. You take my shelter. It's like a statement made with full emotion by a loving father, not the statement made by a dictator to oppress people or suppress people or dominate people or control people or exercise one's superiority over people. Krishna is not like that. If he's really like that, why would he take the position of a driver of Arjuna? Why can't he just hold the bow and arrows and then Arjuna, you drive me? Arjuna would not deny. If Krishna says, I will fight with Duryodhan, Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni and all these people, Arjuna, you become a driver. So, Arjuna would say, definitely I will become your driver. Eternally. I am Krishna Sarthi. I can become Krishna Sarthi. You don't have to become Partha Sarthi. Arjuna would say that. But Krishna said, I will become your driver. Many times, seeing certain statements made by Krishna, where he suggests surrender, recommends surrender, and expects devotion, worship, etc., people misunderstand Krishna. Why should I surrender to him? Why is he boasting about himself like that? But he is acting like a driver. Did you notice that? When he is speaking Bhagavad Gita, he is still a driver only. And Arjuna is warrior only. He did not change position. You are not ready to fight? Take it. Come down. I'll fight. He did not say that. It happened with Arjuna. Arjuna was Shikhandi at one point in Virata Parva. There, all the Kauravas came to attack Virat kingdom. Then Arjuna was driving the chariot of Uttara Kumar, Uttara's brother. So he was being a Sarathi. Then seeing this Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhana, all these people, the Uttara Kumar got scared. Then Arjuna said, you drive, I will fight. Exchanging. Krishna never said like that. And Uttara Kumar became fearful of seeing the opposite party. Arjuna took the bow and then he made him driver. But when Arjuna became fearful or whatever, compassionate or overwhelmed or emotional, Krishna never said, let's exchange roles. I am your driver only. But I'll become your teacher by the way. Till you agree to fight. Then I'll continue my driving job. So Krishna is so humble, extremely humble. No ordinary boss in this material world would share equal amount of privileges or opportunities or facilities with his subordinates. But spiritual world, Krishna gives equal amount of enjoyment to all his devotees in the spiritual world. In fact, Krishna gives more enjoyment to his devotees than he experiences himself. Radharani experiences 10 million times more happiness than even Krishna, and Krishna becomes intrigued. I want that happiness. Why is she enjoying more? Not out of envy, out of appreciation. He aspires for her position. And he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Bhavadyuti Subalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. He becomes Krishna Chaitanya by accepting Radha's duty and Radha's bhava. He becomes Krishna Chaitanya. The Lord gives higher seat, greater preference, more privileges, more opportunities to become more glorious to his devotees, and he takes a back seat. Who else can love us more than this? Sometimes, generally speaking, even parents also feel very happy when the children flourish, become successful, and even surpass their own selves in their glories, generally speaking. But sometimes there may be some intolerant parents also, may not be very aggressively, but sometimes they may feel, he's so talented, I trained him. Some slight feeling may come in some people also. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I'll give an example. Let me give an example. I can give two examples from Bhagavad. In the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, the residents of Jambudvipa offer prayers to the Lord. The Lord manifests himself in 9 deities There are 9 Varshas in Jambudvipa. The residents of these 9 Varshas offer prayers to 9 deities. So one of the prayers says that in this material world, when a son dies, the father tries to enjoy the property of the son, encroach on the property and enjoy the property of the son. Not out of care necessarily, but out of greed also sometimes. And father dies, son tries to enjoy the property of the father, take away the property of the father. And sometimes they may even manipulate the parents or children also to get their things done. So pure affection in this material world is impossible. The purest form of affection is given by parents to the children, generally speaking, especially when they're young. But once they have grown up, they are established also, sometimes there could be these frictions. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was longing for a son. He had 1 crore wives, not a single child. Angira Rishi came and said, I'll conduct a sacrifice. Actually, he requested Angira Rishi, please do something so that I can get a child. Angira Rishi said, I will conduct a sacrifice, you will get a son. That son will be the cause of your happiness and distress both. So several thoughts popped up in the mind of Chitraketu Maharaj. Why he would cause distress to me? He was thinking. Then he felt maybe he will be mischievous. Because he is the only child of a great emperor, maybe he will become mischievous. That's why he may cause some distress to me. It's okay. Better to have a mischievous son rather than no son. Next thought is, maybe he will surpass me in my glories. Maybe he will become a better king than me. Maybe he will supersede me in accomplishments. That way he may cause distress to me. I think I'll still tolerate that. You see? So this envy is so deep-rooted in a conditioned soul that sometimes even family members or parents or children or siblings, brothers or sisters or friends, they also may become slightly envious or more envious towards others. So when this little child was born, other 99,999 wives of Chitraketu poisoned the child out of envy. They couldn't realize he's our son also. But they could not. This is there. But these are rare cases. We are not generalizing it. Parental affection is the purest affection possible on this planet. We are not generalizing it, but there could be some instances where even they also can become a little uncomfortable when the next generation is flourishing. But Krishna will never feel uncomfortable when his devotee is flourishing. That's why Krishna said, Tasmatva muttishta yasholabhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham mayai vaite nihataha purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavyasachim. Tasmatva muttishta, get up, Arjuna. Yasholabhasva, you become famous. I will become famous as driver. You become famous as warrior. Which is better? Warrior. That better position you take. That is Krishna's intention. Tasmatva muttishta yasholabhasva jitva shatrun, conquer enemies. Bhungshva rajyam samruddham, enjoy a prosperous kingdom. Mayaivaite nihataha purvameva, I have already killed all these people. I have killed Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shukuni, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, everybody I have killed. You want to see? He has just displayed Kala Rupa. Big form, hundreds and thousands of faces. Every face is emanating fire. And this Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhan, they are all entering into the mouths of Kala Rupa, and then they are being crushed. They are becoming chutney. The grinder of his mouth. Right? Bhungshvarajam samudram, mayevaite nihata purvameva. If he has killed them, he can take credit. But he says, Ishola Bhasva, you take credit. I killed them, you take credit as the killer. This is Krishna's life. Even on a material plane also, external plane also, Krishna likes to see his devotees more glorious than himself. Nimittamatram bhavasavyasachi. You are a savyasachi. You are definitely a savyasachi. Ambidexter, you can release arrows from both hands. You are a savyasachi, but still you are nimittamatram. You are extremely talented, but you are my instrument. Because your talent I have given you. I have given you talent I have given you opportunity. I have done the job that you are supposed to do. You just manifest it and then take credit. I am not interested in credit. I am interested in establishing dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That is his interest. And you assist me in establishing dharma by killing these people. This is Krishna's expectation. Who else can be more affectionate towards his devotees than him? Is it not sufficient reason for us to completely surrender unto Krishna and no one else? So we just discussed little bit, whatever came to mind. We discussed, but if we just go through Gita more systematically and in a cross-sectional view, just picking up points here and there that highlight Krishna's mercy, Krishna's affection towards his devotees, you'll find so many jewels, so many perspectives, so many insights into Krishna's heart. Understand Krishna's heart and offer your heart to Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Silicon Valley claps will never end. I'm afraid generally. Any questions? Should we take questions? We have 9 minutes for questions. Three, one at a time.
When you were talking about giving heart to Krishna and with this finished with saying giving your heart to Krishna, you mentioned repeated times about like developing emotions for Krishna. People who are like left brain heavy and generally
Too analytical.
and even struggling to, let's say, be emotional in normal relationships. How do we get to being more emotional with Krishna?
Engage your senses in Krishna's service. Instruction is clear. Bhava is a product of sadhana. Bhava is emotion. Sadhana is practice. The sadhana practice is basically engaging your senses in Krishna's service. Do more service to get more emotion. Prabhupada writes in one purport. Generally for women it is very easy to connect with Krishna because generally they are soft-hearted and in religious gatherings they are more in number, they outnumber men also, they are in a greater advantageous position. So you need to just continue to engage in sadhana. Like it's giving signals, you have to conclude. So the more we engage in sadhana, the more we develop emotions. Bhava. That's the philosophical and shastric answer given by Rupa Goswami. We have little bhava during sadhana, but that bhava to become very intense, that requires sadhana. Sarvanam Kirtanam. If we have.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful lectures. My question is that you spoke the importance of developing intention. So, if one has not reached perfect stage or fully purified stage, in that stage, is it still possible to develop your emotion, your intention? If yes, how? If not, why not?
Dhruva Maharaj began with a very negative intention. He was like Tamasic Bhakta and Rajasic Bhakta in one sense. He had revenge, we'll discuss it a little later, but I'll give the essence. He was very revengeful towards his stepmother. He was very envious of his stepbrother. He wanted a position superior to his great-grandfather Brahma also. Isn't it? So with these kinds of intentions, he went to Krishna. And he worshipped Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Under the guidance of Narada Muni, he went to Vrindavan, 6 months of intense tapasya. And his intentions are completely purified by doing that sadhana as prescribed by Guru. Once the Lord manifested in front of him, he was not at all expecting what he was expecting before 6 months. He did not say, when will my stepmother die? when will my stepbrother die? When will I attain a position which is superior to my great grandfather Brahma? He did not ask at all. He was asked what he was asking. Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango bhuyadanantamahtam avalashyanam yenan jasolbana buru vyasanam bhavabdhim naishye bhavadguna katham mrutappanamattah. I just want the association of your devotees, and I want to become intoxicated by drinking the nectar of descriptions of your qualities from your devotees. That's what he wanted. Where did he begin and where did he end up? Although he did Sakama Bhakti means materially motivated Bhakti. Bhakti which is rendered with selfish desires. Although he began with Sakama Bhakti, in 6 months, Sakama went away, Bhakti remained. By Krishna's grace. And by the way, Krishna fulfilled those material desires also. But how did he fulfill the material desires? He fulfilled the material desires of Dhruva in such a way that he doesn't relish them anymore. You asked for gulab jamun and somebody fed a big feast, much tastier probably, and at then they give gulab jamun. I don't want. Means you are not hungry anymore. Gulab jamun is a very good example. Maybe some junk food. You asked for some junk food and somebody gave you some Krishna Prasadam great feast, and at the end they gave you the junk food. You have no taste for it anymore. Your belly is filled with some pure Krishna Prasadam. That's how Krishna does. He treats the devotee and purifies the bad intentions of devotees. Any other question?
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, you mentioned different type of seva, if I can say. Chanting is at a high level, and then at the sense level, maybe like serving or kitchen or something. The level person is, it can be best served in whatever way he or she can do the seva. Should one aspire that, rather than doing, which you classify it as sensual level, we should be only chanting. At the same time, I have heard about Srila Prabhupada, when he came out of chanting. Of course, he's an acharya at a very different level. In the mood to do paropkar, that level is different. But as a sadhaka bhakta, what should be our mood? Do something which aligns with a certain skill set, or aspire to do chanting again.
Prabhupada said, we chant 16 rounds minimum, and hear Bhagavatam. Chanting may take a couple of hours. Bhagavatam class maybe an hour or so. Full day have service. So the regimen given by the acharyas nicely accommodates all three levels of bhakti. Abhyasarapa bhakti, Smaranatmika bhakti, Mananatmika bhakti. All three are accommodated within the regimen given by acharyas. Ultimately, Krishna consciousness means to engage all three in Krishna's service. Body, intelligence and mind. All three we have to engage in Krishna's service. That is Krishna consciousness. It's not that I am done with all bodily services, only intellectual services. I am done with all intellectual services, only mental services. Not like that. All three are functional. When we are in this material body, body may have certain capacity. So because of that, we may kind of reduce some physical activities as we become old. But in the spiritual realm, there is no old age. There is no sense of body getting exhausted or tired or old or diseased that we cannot do physical services at all. So all three must be done. Just like the gopas and gopis and all the exalted devotees are engaging all their faculties, subtle and gross bodily faculties in Krishna's service. Savai manaha Krishna padara vindayor vachamsi vaikuntha gunan varnane. Vachamsi is also engaging the power of speech in Krishna's service. Not only manaha Krishna padara vindayor, Ambarish Maharaj. Karo harer mandira marjanadishu. Ambarish Maharaj, at his level, he is doing jhadu of temple. Temples were there in those times also. Mandira marjanadishu. Sritam chakara achyuta saktathodaye. Even all exalted devotees engage their senses also, whether ears or nose or tongue or hands or legs, in Krishna's service, along with mind, along with intelligence. So ultimately we need to engage all of them. It's a full package. But in the sadhaka level, engaging senses is more natural or easier for a struggling sadhaka than just concentrating mind in Krishna's service. But there is a time prescribed to control the mind and focus on Krishna also. And once you cultivate that emotions are the background. Emotions keep on empowering you to engage your senses in Krishna's service. Initially, we are engaging senses in Krishna's service without much emotions. But when we advance, we have emotions and we engage in Krishna's service with emotions. Not that when we advance, we completely give up our physical services. Because the whole day somebody may give up, that's in the material world. But in the spiritual world, there's no all this. So senses are also being engaged constantly. It's a package. In fact, in the spiritual world, there is no difference between body and the soul. Their body is spiritual, senses are spiritual, intelligence is spiritual, mind is spiritual, ego is spiritual. Soul is not different from the body. Just whatever the soul is doing in the spiritual realm.
बहुत सारे शॉट्स निकल सकते हैं शॉट्स
We conclude here. Thank you very much.
आप एक जॉब निकल रहा है जॉब निकल रहा है